Good morning, everyone. So, welcome back to your biology practical class. And in my previous class, I have shown you some specimens which are related to the identification part. And today, if you check your syllabus, then under the group A, there are two practicals, that is test for presence of sugar in urine and the test for presence of albumin in urine. Okay, topic number 5 and topic number 6. Okay, I am repeating that test for presence of sugar in urine and test for presence of albumin in urine. Today I will show you these two practicals. So before that, you have to know about the how you have to perform those practicals. So first one is that what is the topic? Urine. You have to test for the presence of sugar and albumin in the urine. You have to write it down into two separate practicals, and you have to draw the diagram which is already provided in the book. You have to draw it on the left side of left white side of the practical copy. Okay, so first as you know that a large number of volatile and non-volatile waste products are produced by in our body by some metabolic activities, right? So these products we need to eliminate from the body, and this process is considered as excretion. Already you have read it in your theory class, excretion part. So we usually, what type of substances we excrete? Usually nitrogenous waste product we usually excrete. Okay, so in different organism different type of excretory products can be seen, but now we are focusing mainly on the human. So in case of humans are ureotelic, that means they are now main nitrogenous waste product is urea. Okay, so urea is the principal nitrogenous waste product which is produced in human body, and it is eliminated from our body through the urine with some other products. Okay, so what is the color of the urine? It is usually pale yellow in color in case of normal person, and it contains water and urea and other nitrogenous waste product like ammonia, uric acid, hippuric acid, some mineral salts, and some non-nitrogenous organic substances may be present. Okay, so what is the general characteristics of the urine? That the color is, already I have mentioned, that yellowish in appearance. Why? Because of the presence of a pigment which is considered as urochrome. Okay, for the presence of the pigment urochrome, the urine will show yellowish in color, and urobilin, it is a degraded product of bilirubin and hemoglobin which is also present. Okay, and what is the odor? It is aromatic when it is fresh, but it will smell like ammonia by the action of bacteria. Due to time, bacterial action will be there and it will smell like ammonia. Okay, and the volume of the urine will be changed according to the different body condition and different climatic condition. Okay, and its specific gravity is 1.010 to 1.40, and pH is 6.0, so it is nearly acidic. And already I have mentioned what are the different composition of urine, that is water 95 to 96% water, urea 2%, and some dissolved nitrogenous waste, some organic substance, and some inorganic substance like NaCl, KCl, SO4, PO4. These can be found in the urine. Now, why we need to taste the sugar and albumin in the presence of sugar and albumin in the urine? Because persons who are suffering from certain metabolic or renal disorder, they may excrete glucose, albumin in their urine. Okay, so persons who are suffering from some disease, they may excrete this type of substances which are normally which will not release from the urine. That is why if any abnormality is present or not, we have to know by those tests. Okay, so first one is sugar, which is glucose, or you can call it carbohydrate. When we will get sugar in our urine, in case of diabetes mellitus, okay, and when and some in some another diseases, protein, that is as you know that albumin is protein, so protein albumin can be found. Okay, so first I will tell you how you have to perform the presence of sugar in urine. So what is the object? Object or aim is the to detect the presence of sugar or glucose in urine. Now, as you know that for every practical you have to know about the requirements. So what are the requirements for this particular practical? So first one is urine sample, and which contains the sugar. So on the day of your practical examination, we will provide you some urine sample, okay, and we will not tell you what constituent is present in those particular samples, okay. So you have to find it out by the particular experiments. So what I will do, I will mix albumin or I will mix sugar, and I will provide you those samples, okay. So now you know that you are performing for the presence of sugar in the albumin, but on the day of your examination you have to find it out by the experiments. So what are the requirements? Urine sample, test tube stand, spirit lamp or burner, Benedict solution, and failing A and failing B solution. Okay. So what is the procedure? Procedure is that first two tests are there, Benedict test or failing test. You can perform any one of them. Okay. So first one is Benedict test. What you have to do, you have to take 2 ml of urine sample in a test tube, and you have to add 2 ml of Benedict solution, and you have to boil it, and then you have to cool it at the room temperature. Then you will be able to find it first greenish, and after that brickish red type of precipitation will be formed. Okay. So this is the first test, and the second test is the failings test. So for the failing test, you have to take 2 ml of urine sample in a test tube, and you have to add 2 ml of each failing solution A and failing solution B, and then again you have to boil it for 2 minutes, and you have to cool it in room temperature, and greenish yellow, yellowish red or reddish orange type of precipitate will be formed. Okay. So from this, what will be the conclusion? I will tell you. Before that, I will show you how you have to perform this practical. Okay. So today I will show you Benedict test. So first, as you can see, you have to. This is the measuring cylinder. So by this, how we have to use it? We have to put this part into the beaker, and you have to press it like this, and the content will move. You can see it is moving up, as it is nothing is there, so you can find it out some air bubbles. So ma'am will show you. So this is the beaker containing the urine sample with glucose. So ma'am is taking 2 ml of sample in a test tube. Then we have to add 2 ml of Benedict. So we can't use the same thing for the another material. So we will use another one. Again we have to add. So this is the Benedict solution. Again we have to add 2 ml of Benedict solution. Okay, then we have to hold it with the test tube holder, and then we will boil it. Okay, so this is the color. You can see that the color, and now we will see what will be the color after the boiling. look, first a greenish type of appearance is coming. After that, now you can see the changed color. So I have told you that brickish red type of coloration will appear. So this indicates that this test is showing the positive result for the presence of glucose, and this is the Benedict test. Now have you noticed one thing, that when ma'am was using the test tube for the boiling, we have to hold the test tube like this, not like this. We can't hold the test tube in like this. Why? Because whenever we are boiling it may come out through the mouth, and it may fall on our dress or on our hand. Okay, so any accident may occur. That is why you have to hold it like this in slanted manner. Okay, so this is the right process to hold the test tube whenever you are burning it. Okay, so that if it comes out through the mouth, then it will not touch your hand or any body parts. Okay, so you have to be very careful whenever you are using this boiling method. Okay, whenever you are using the burner, you have to very careful. Okay, so what will be the conclusion? That in Benedict test, green precipitate shows that in case of sample, high amount of glucose is present. Okay, so this is all for the to detect the presence of sugar in urine. Now I will discuss about the next, that is the to detect the presence of albumin in urine. Okay, so what are the requirements for this practical? That first one, urine sample which contains albumin, test tubes, test tube stand, spirit lamp, sulfosalicylic acid and dropper. Okay, so what is the procedure for this practical? I will perform the sulfosalicylic test. So for this one we have to take 2 ml of urine sample in a test tube, and we have to add an equal volume of 30% sulfosalicylic acid to it, and we have to heat it gently. So here I have mentioned 30% of salicylic acid. How you have to prepare 30% of salicylic acid? We have to add 70% of water. So 70 plus 30 is equal to 100. 70 distilled water plus 30 sulfosalicylic acid. So by this way we can make 30% sulfosalicylic acid. Okay, and then we have to heat the tube gently, and a whitish type of appearance will come in this solution. Now let us perform this practical, and after that we will discuss about the conclusion part. So first ma'am will take 2 ml of urine sample which contains the albumin. Okay, then ma'am is adding sulfosalicylic acid, and after that we have to boil it. Okay, so see, you can see it. You can see it that a whitish type of appearance, a whitish type of appearance, you can see it. Okay, so that means that this is also the positive result for albumin. Okay, so what we will write in the conclusion part, that in the salicylic test, sulfosalicylic test, we can find a whitish or cloudy type of appearance which shows the presence of albumin in the urine sample. Okay, so these are the conclusions of these two practicals. And after the conclusion, what you have to write? You have to write down the precautions. So what are the different precautions we should take while we are performing this practical? First one is, you have to wash the test tube thoroughly before and after the use. Okay, and you have to use the standard reagents. And another part already I have mentioned how you have to very very careful whenever you are working with the burners, and whenever you are boiling the test tube, how you have to hold the test tubes. Okay, so these are the, and as you can see that from these practicals, what will be the different precautions you should take. You have to wear aprons. Okay, so as you know that in the biology practical, wearing of apron is must. Okay, so these are the different and many other precautions you can understand or write it down by your, because while you are performing with the materials which are made up of borosil, you have to very careful. Okay, so these are the some precautions you have to write it down. So this is all about these two practicals, that means to detect the presence of sugar and albumin in urine. And again you have to draw the test tube, and whenever we are boiling it, you have to draw that diagram also on the left side page, which is white page, and for both the practicals. Okay, and you most importantly you have to label it. Okay, you have to label it properly, and you have to provide the caption also. So this is all about today's practical. Do you have any doubt or any question? If you are having, you can ask me. Yes, you can use black pen for the heading part, not for the main practical writing part. For the main practical writing part, you have to use blue pen. Okay. Another thing, you must write down the date of the particular practicals. Okay, that means today we have performed these two practical. In a rough copy, write down the heading and write down today's date, so that when at the time of your submission you can write it down in your main copy. Okay, but if you don't write it down right now, then you may forget this one, and that time you may face problems. Okay, that is why please write down the heading of the practical and the dates in a rough copy. When I will tell you, just you have to write it down in the main copy. Which diagram will draw? These diagrams. This is already in your book. Okay, these two. Clear hoise ki? Okay, okay. Very good. The book name is Comprehensive Laboratory Manual in Biology for class 11. Clear everyone? Okay, so thank you and bye bye for today.